I wish we had a cool song like "We are living in a digital world and we are digital girls."
I love it. Two millennial caregivers keeping it real with a beautiful, chaotic, and sometimes what the moments of being a caregiver. One with data analytics,
and the other with creative self-care hacks. Because sometimes you need those hard facts, and sometimes you just need a really good yap.
We're here to help caregivers not just survive, but thrive. Whether that means tracking progress with receipts and lists, or mastering the art of sneaking in some respite without guilt.
This podcast is for caregivers who want solutions, but also need a space where they feel seen, heard, and low-key entertained.
It's very annoying when you are able to advocate for yourself in a way that should be able to create results. Again, the AI is really great because you can literally tell them everything. Even if you wanted to, you could technically copy and paste some of your...
I was about to say, girl, yes. I can literally take a photo of my medication and drop it in.
Yeah, or test results. Hey, yeah, what does this mean?
What do you think? Yeah.
I know you're going to tell me you're not a doctor, but I just want your educated understanding of data and analysis and tell me what you think this might mean and what does that mean moving forward. And yes, all the things. Yeah,
exactly. Totally. Run me my answers, AI. Yo, let me tell you what I did real quick, right? So I was on LinkedIn. I commented on somebody's post, but someone commented a response to my comment and said, "Hey, Nikki, I've seen your resume on your LinkedIn and there was a role that looked perfect for you and your skill set. And I've been reaching out to you, but you would be great for unitedhealth.gov. You should reach out to their senior recruiter, Marissa at unitedhealth.gov@gmail.com. Okay. All these dots and all these ats. Okay. So I was just like, what? So I copied her response and then I threw it into ChatGPT and I was like, please help me respond to this LinkedIn comment. And ChatGPT said, "Hey, bestie, this is looking like a scam, a phishing scam to be exact." And then they broke down why.
Yep. I love it.
The Gmail, they said if they are suggesting a huge corporation such as United Health, they would have their own email. They would never use Gmail, and they wouldn't reach out to you personally, respectfully, bestie. Yeah. Okay, I get it, and that's why I stand.
Yeah. Okay. 100%. Yeah. No, if you prompt it the right questions with enough detail, it will give you good results. It's only as good as the user in this situation. So if you speak to it in doctor terms, it's going to give you doctor terms back. If you ask it basic questions, it's going to give you basic answers. So the better you are at communicating, which us caregivers are great at doing, it's a great tool to help you advocate in ways that you didn't, especially if you feel uncomfortable at the doctors, especially if you're not sure what questions to ask, especially if there's a new diagnosis and they don't necessarily have the time to talk about it, or God forbid you get that stupid fucking test on a Friday and you're scared because it's a negative or a high positive and you can't call them and ask them, what does this mean? You could go, ask some questions that way, because sometimes when you do Google, it can get you into a big scare of like, okay, now you got cancer, or whatever the thing is, you know what I mean? But it's just like, there's been too many times where, even my daughter's done that, like she'll go and be like, oh my God, there's something wrong. It's like, okay, let's calm it down, please. Like, can we just take it one step at a time? It doesn't mean this, it's probably this. And but yeah, especially when you get those stupid tests on a Friday, it's the worst. And then you gotta wait a whole weekend, 2 days, 24 hours of just stressing about what do these tests mean. Ugh, it's the worst.
That is the worst. You leave me to my anxious devices. Why would you do it? Oh, Lord in heaven.
Yeah. Fight or flight for a caregiver is dangerous. I mean, we'll be doing too much, we'll get
that rabbit hole is deep.
We're gonna be in the doctors for a week now. Let me get my bags together. Let me call people. Let me get our snacks together. Let me figure out transportation. That's what I would do. But it's like, let me write our stuff down. Let me do all the things. But yeah, it's the worst when you get those.
I feel you. I feel like a lot of us will do the exact same thing. I know I would do the same thing. I'm a planner and I will plan it all out. Okay, so like, I don't know what this means, but this is what I think it could mean per what Google said. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea to get into that rabbit hole. It's not a good usage of energy, and I mean mental energy, because now all your thoughts are going to be towards those faux answers. I don't know if they're real or not. You don't know if they're real or not. Like, I think it's a good idea to write those questions, those anxious thoughts you're having, write them down so that you can communicate with the doctor. Because from my experience, traditional doctors are always so fast. Like, they never have time to sit down. So you got to just go and you might forget your question. So it's a good idea to just, if you're feeling a type of way about whatever results you saw, to write it down and ask them specifically, hey, so what does this mean? And what could happen? And what are some symptoms I should look out for? And what's the medicine going to do? Are there any repercussions to that medicine? Is it going to make me, oh, okay, write it down.
Yeah. Or sometimes they'll tell you, but it's like all the big ones. They don't tell you like those little ones, like the dry mouth.
Exactly.
Or like the ones that are like super annoying too, like the fatigue or the, but most of them do that. But it's like, those are things, yes, you obviously have to monitor. And again, that's where care sheets come in, because that you can monitor those things. You can see how often they're taking naps or how long they're taking naps, or, when they're waking up in the morning and how they're feeling or how they're eating and how that's affecting their medicine, because it takes a while, depending on what medication we're talking about. It takes a while to get into their system to work properly. And by the time you see side effects, for me, I would forget that was a thing, especially like I remember iron. Iron was so bad. So we were taking iron supplements, and that messed with his body, but I didn't put two and two together till I went back and looked at my sheets and be like, oh, this started right after we started taking the medicine. And I can see now that it's constantly happening. And then it was easy for me to have him stop because it was just iron in it. It's like we stopped it. I left a message for the doctor, said, hey, this is happening. I'm stopping today, and they have to respond to you in like, 24 hours or 48 hours. So like, hey, we're stopping. This is really bad. Call me.
I love that. I am so that makes me feel like such an empowering moment, because I'm going to bring him back. But James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, he's always talking about how to stack your habits. And why I'm bringing that up is because the care sheets is a part of tech, right? So when you have these care sheets, you can put them, like, stack them into your habits, your regular habits. So like, let's say your habit is to make coffee and pull the medication out at the same time. Then maybe in that cabinet where you have your coffee, you can tape the care sheet there. So that way you can make your little notes or whatnot. And then if anything happened, you refer back to that. Like, oh my God, this happened on this date. Because I know your care sheets are super specific. Plus, you can customize those care sheets, which is really helpful. But I love that there's an empowerment there, because it's not as if you're just going with the motions of caregiver life. No, you're being intentional with your data. And the more data you have, the more power you have when you're talking to these doctors, these professionals and experts. You can come back, you can push back. You can let them know, hey, listen, I see you want to give out this medication, but let me tell you what happened when you did the first time. This, and you run your stats, okay, per the care sheet.
Yeah, they actually like it. They like it when you come in with the information. That they're doctors. They like the data. They do.
I bet they, and I bet you they respect you a little bit more. They take you more seriously now. It's not like, well, I feel like my loved one. No, it's not a feeling. Now it's the data. Hey, doc, on the 17th of March, this happened. You said it wouldn't, but this happened.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You got it.
They got to come correct. They know that we're not, or God forbid, like, especially, again, I don't know if this happens in regular hospitals, but sometimes like the computers will be down. All of a sudden the computers aren't working. And then you still got to do your appointment, but they can't check your chart. So they can't see what medication you're on, or, any information really. And so it's just like, okay, well, I'm glad I have it all here. I'm glad I can tell you his allergies and what he's taking, and what we did the last time we talked, because again, doctors are just as burnout as we are, but they also don't know their patients like we do. So that's where we come in. Like,
okay, so you giving facts. Okay, yeah, you're right. They don't know.
No, I mean, but when you come in with those sheets and you come in with the data and you come in confident and not just the daughter of, the wife of, the, they have no choice but to like take you seriously or remember you, and that's always good, that you want to be remembered. So at least I did. I want you to remember me just in case there's something wrong, because they're quicker to respond when they remember you.
Ooh, there was way too many things you gave. You're right. They're gonna throw some respect on your name, and you know what? They talk about you too with the rest of the staff. Like, pull them up first. Yeah, let's go through them first.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
They'll help you with the letters if you need them, especially in the veteran world. You know, all that paperwork's really important. So it's like, hey, I need a letter.
You know what's cool about your care sheets too? It is a combination of the tech and the touch. Because even though the tech part, I feel is like where you're adding in the data, you're making sure that you're putting in all of the analytics, the insights that you're seeing from whatever's happening with your loved one per the medication or whatever the event is. But it's also touch too, because I'm sure there's a moment where you can reflect on how you felt also and what you personally saw that might not look like medical jargon. It might just look like something you saw, like notice, like, oh, well, he was anxious. And I don't think that that's a symptom of the medication, but I did notice that he seemed a little bit more agitated. Right. Those are a great way to use your intuition, the touch part, and include it with the tech. And I think that's the balance.
Finding triggers.
We were talking about balance, right? Gemini.
Hey.
Sag here. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's what we do best. But I love, in your situation, not only are we able to find triggers and balance them, but I know that things that we've talked about, using art, using color to help ease some of those triggers, using music to help with those things, not just for ourselves, but our loved ones, like those creative outlets can be put into place as part of the touch, as getting back to our senses. What was the analogy again you talked about the accessories and the outfit?
Oh yeah, like our intuition is the outfit and technology is the accessories. It's the jewelry. It doesn't make the outfit, but it definitely adds to it. It gives it that razzle dazzle, right? But without the outfit, who cares about the jewelry? I guess if you're in a fashion magazine, perhaps. You know, like a Vogue, where they only have that feature.
Yes. And then again, but yeah, without those accessories though, the outfit can just be
doesn't slap. It doesn't slap.
Yeah, it doesn't. And it doesn't make you stand out. It doesn't make you, I don't want to say it doesn't make you feel better, but yeah, just putting on those extra accessories, it helps to make you feel better. And I think technology has the ability to do that. And also not make you feel good, because if it's not helping you, you wear those wrong shoes on that day that isn't working, then it's going to do the exact opposite of what you wanted,
If you wear those heavy earrings and the hoops, those hoop earrings that I'm talking about that have a weight to it and they look cute and it's a great concept, sure. But girl, look at what's happening to your ear hole. Look at it. It's large. Okay.
And then you're in pain. And then you're trying to
you're in pain.
Yeah.
Ooh, you can only wear it for a certain amount of time. Don't do it. That's not the earring for you. It's not the metal or the earring. Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. I think jewelry definitely makes you feel good. I feel good when I'm wearing jewelry. I don't feel like I'm just like going on with my day because I know I have to, so I'm wearing clothes. Okay. When I put on jewelry, I feel like I am introducing a part of my personality, or I'm trying to have the perception understood. Like today I'm in a rocker mood, so don't mess with me. Don't try it. Or maybe today I'm in a more feminine, soft Parisian vibe. So yeah, I'm wearing the lip gloss and my hair in a bun. So I want things to be more slower that day. Yeah. It all relates a message. What's the message that tech is saying to you? For me, I like using those vacuums, the robo vacuums.
Yes.
I remember when I first started it, and it was so great. It was so helpful because I felt like I was doing everything all the time. I felt like I was constantly mopping. Dust forms everywhere. Why? Didn't I just vacuum? I tried to listen to my body. I tried to sit and think, why am I always so exhausted by 3:30? What's happening? Right? Every day, 3:30, I'm always tired because what check? Energy check?
Check. Yeah. That's
energy check.
Yeah.
And after doing that energy check and seeing where most of my energy was being overused, then I started to figure out like, where can I delegate that to technology? Because if I can't call on a friend or a family member or afford for another care partner to come in to do the work, where can I supplement that with technology? And how I could do it was with those vacuums and also with my Amazon Echo,
Mm-hmm.
turning on the lights. And I don't know, maybe to some people it's not a big deal, but for me, it's a big deal. Like every day opening the curtains, every day closing the curtains, every day. And not just my curtains in my bedroom. No, I'm talking about for the entire space. My
Yep.
mom's room, my room, the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, the office. Oh my
Yeah.
God, the bathroom. It's all and it doesn't sound like to I don't want to say normal, but to someone who's not on the care journey, it doesn't sound like a big deal.
It
It'll be
doesn't.
like, girl, just do it.
Yeah.
But for me, I felt so burnt out. Even to do that minor activity
Yeah.
was exhausting me
Totally
and
agree.
angering me.
Yeah.
I started to feel resentment. Why do I have to do it all the time? Why can't you?
Yeah. Hold down this. Yeah. No, I totally agree.
We'll
Yeah. Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
But obviously they can't. But using my tech helped me so that way I didn't have to always worry about, and then putting it on a setting. Like I felt I had more control when
Yeah.
I was using technology, which was such a great feeling when I was conflicted with my mom progressing. It's like,
Mhm.
mommy, I'm trying so hard to make you feel better, but I know that's a part of denial and it's a part of grief. I can't make her feel better. Her disease is going to continue. She's going to decline every day.
Mhm.
And that is such a defeatist. Uh, I don't know. I don't like feeling like I'm always failing. I don't like feeling like I'm even though I'm doing so much, I
Yeah.
still can't fix this.
Yeah.
But using technology, I
Yeah.
always felt more empowered. I always felt like, hey, I am in control because I don't just have Amazon Echo. I have control over the settings. I
Yeah.
have control over the time of when I can have them turn the lights on and turn them off. I have
Mhm.
control over what music and playlists they put on at a certain time. So if it's time for grooming, we just woke up, or if it's time to go night night and we're going to bed, I can put on a playlist. If it's
Mhm.
time to eat, we can have on a play. It just made me feel better about the situation, even though my loved one was declining. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I feel like technology gives us an opportunity of getting not only our time back, but how we want to use our energy and how we want to show up as well. So again, I mean, we talked about subscriptions and how amazing they are. We can talk about like actual tech tools or like actual physical tools, whether that be the arm grabber. I mean, that is not just for our loved ones. I love that thing. Or a shower chair. That's
Oh,
amazing technology.
yes.
We can talk about the Ring doorbell or, any type of camera accessibility, baby monitors, handles on doors for security. Like all of those things are amazing technologies to help us lower our cortisol and feel comfortable that, somebody can't just leave, our loved ones can't leave out the door
Yeah.
whenever they feel like it, or again,
Yeah.
to remember that, again, putting on those timers to either take a break for our loved ones to stop doing what they're doing and go to another thing. Like for my kids all have timers on their devices, so they only have a certain amount of time using certain apps, usually like the entertainment ones,
Yep.
that are educational. So that way, if they want more time, they have to ask me, and that makes it so that I'm not having to hover over them and seeing what they're doing all the time. I trust that what they're doing also makes me know if their time is out, that's a lot of time now. It's go time to do something else.
I
So,
love that. That's very empowering.
so
That
yeah,
helps with the micromanaging, like that being that helicopter type of
yeah,
caregiver.
yeah,
I know in the corporate world, I never liked a micromanager. I was just over it, but that's beautiful. Oh, you know what else is a good tech? Air tags. So some carees, your loved one that you're taking care of, sometimes they might fall into like wandering, or they are out enjoying themselves and maybe they got confused and they got lost.
yeah.
Having air tags either sewn into their clothes, like in the back of their shirt where their tag is, or having it
Car
inside of their
keys,
shoe. The car keys,
wallet,
yes. Wallet, big
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I like having it on their person though, just in case they don't remember that this is their wallet and they just say like, "Hey, what is this doing in my pocket?" and just place
Okay.
it somewhere.
Yeah.
I like it if it's on their person, on their body, so
Mhm.
that way it's harder to remove. Like even if you can add the air tag their in their underwear, like in the inside there, like the
Yeah.
tag.
Like
Yeah.
a pocket or something? Like a little
What'd you
patch?
say?
Like a patch? You can get like an iron-on patch or something maybe that you can add a pocket to the or how would you add it to the underwear?
No, I like that iron-on patch. That's really
Okay.
cute. That's really clever. because I don't know the name of this company, but they make undershirts.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call them? Like in Brooklyn, I don't know, maybe other places too, but they call them wife beaters. You know that, right?
Yes, yeah. I know there's a better name for it, but I don't
I
know. Yes.
know. What is it? Sleeveless? Them sleeveless shirts.
White undershirt, a tank top. I don't know. I know guys wouldn't call it that, but I get you. Keep going.
Yeah, I wish there was a better name for that. It sucks. I don't like it.
I know there's another one. I just don't know what it is because I
But
don't.
immediately you saw the image, right?
Yep, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
What do they call them? Okay, if you know what it is, comment below.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So there's a company that takes those shirts and those sleeveless shirts, and they sew like a device. It's a GPS device on there. So you can always monitor your loved one wherever they go, whenever they're wearing that. But what I'm saying is like air tags are out now, right? And because we're living in the future, more modernization, more modern technology devices are going to start coming up. And I just feel like it's okay to use it. I don't think that we're ever going to get away from it. Even AI, right? Check it.
Yep. It's already here.
It's already here. Like ChatGPT is big and everybody's talking about it. Okay, sure. But guess what? AI is also in our Amazon. It's in our groceries. It's in our telehealth. It's
On our
everywhere.
phone, in every app at this point, pretty much.
It's in Canva.
Yeah.
You could put in what your directions are, and it's even in our Gmail. In Gmail, there's when you're starting a new email, it'll say, need help with this?
Yeah.
That's AI. So
Yeah.
it's here to stay. So if it's going to stay, then why don't we use it? Like,
not only that, but I think we also have an opportunity while it's still quite young. And I put that in quotes because apparently it's been around for a really long time. Anyways, at its youngest form, as we are getting closer to using it and it being more integrated in our lives, we have this opportunity, especially as caregivers, to really put our stamp on care, on empathy, on showing up, and it not necessarily doing our job, but so that we can enjoy what we do. So AI is a great
100%.
tool. Yeah, it's a great tool. It's an amazing assistant if you know how to use it correctly. And I think it's important that we take some of that weight off of us, which I know can be very hard to let go of the control because we know best and we've been doing it for a while and all of those things. But to slowly allow it to, again, whether it's an air tag or just a conversation about how we're doing today, helping with, okay, I have all these things to do today. Can you help me triage? Can you help me prioritize? I know I need to do this at this time. Can you help me today make a list of what I need to do? I have these responsibilities. Can you, help me out? And it will prompt you something. And of course you don't have to go with it. I mean, even with AI, you still have to prompt it and make edits, but it's a great way to like let go of some of that. And I do love AI for that. So I feel like
I love AI for that too. I think AI is one way to empower yourself and to make you feel good that you're doing a good job. Because sometimes you might not hear it from your friends, you might not hear it from your family members, you might not hear it from the loved one you're taking care of, but AI is here and it will let you know. So I used to feel like as a caregiver, there were so much more cons than pros. Felt like, well, you don't get paid that much if you get paid at all, and you don't have insurance, so how can you show up for your health? Even though everybody on the streets want to be like, oh, caregivers neglect your health, do you have a choice? Okay, but AI gives you back the choice. AI gives you options. Here's what I mean. So when it comes to like not getting paid or not getting paid enough, this is what I use ChatGPT for, and I'll say, hey, I have $10 and I need groceries. I'm going to the Dollar Tree. Please give me suggestions on the healthiest options of what I can buy with just this $10. And it might say you can buy eggs at the Dollar Tree because some Dollar Trees sell eggs. You can buy yogurt. They also sell that there. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Okay, Shazam. There it is. You can also get some nuts. You can get some
frozen vegetables every so often. Or
they
even
have frozen peppers. They
Mhm.
have frozen strawberries, bananas, and blueberries. They have almond milk, sweetened and unsweetened, $1.25. Please and thank you. And you can walk out there with your blinders on because you only got $10. So stop playing yourself, right? and stay on budget. And ChatGPT will give you that. And then I'll go take it a step further and say, well, please create healthy meals from these groceries that I use. Now, I'm doing an extreme by saying Dollar Tree, but you can use whatever grocery store that you want and whatever budget that you have. Maybe it's $30, maybe it's $50, but be specific. And that's another way, again, of practicing intentionality and saying, hey, look, I have $35 and I'm going to a farmer's market, a local farmer's market. Please suggest healthy groceries that I can buy, and then create breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks from the groceries. Yep. And it will do that for you. That's another thing that helps make you feel like you're doing a good job, because the decision fatigue of always having to think for your loved one, always have to think for all these other people, always have to think for the doctor. No, now you don't have to do that. Now you can tell ChatGPT to do the thinking for you in that area and give you back some respite, the emotional, mental respite that you really do need.
I totally agree with you. And I think also don't forget about your local grocery stores or the franchise grocery stores, getting those apps. You can find more discounts using their apps. Like they have like in-app coupons.
Very nice.
You can set those up and see what's available. I mean, technically, yes, they're tracking how you're doing your groceries. But with that said, if they notice that you're buying a lot of, certain products, they will give you discounts on them. And that's always great.
That is.
To like, milk, yogurts, all of those things. Be okay with switching different apps and trying new things. We know pivoting is hard. It's whether it's seasonal, whether it's in the caregiver journey, whether it's in the self-care. But I think being open to new apps that are coming out and trying them out and giving your comments, giving your suggestions. The intention with these is to hopefully make it easier, save you money, share information. That's, why I made my care sheets, is because I want to serve caregivers and make it easier for them. So, how can I do that unless I get caregiver feedback? Everybody's journey is different and certain tools are going to work, which is again why I make them custom. But even in just like finding out what you like, all of those things, I think it's important to pay attention to those things. So
it is so important to pay attention to it. And it kind of makes the entire care journey a little bit more filling. Instead of just feeling one way, now it's like it's a whole experience where you are active. You're active in your loved one's care, but you're active in your own care. You're being present when you're, in my opinion, when you're including all of the tech and the touch.
One prompt that I like to use, especially with AI, is, a great prompt is, help me write a professional email about, to this provider about this specific concern. And then they, will give it to you and then you can edit it to your needs. But that's one great way of doing it. Or for self-care, create a 10-minute self-care routine using items that I have in my home. And you can list out some items that I like to use. And can you give me, that's a great one. Another great one might be, help me prepare questions about whatever the condition is for my parents' doctor visit. And then you can take that, copy paste it and have it in your phone if that's helpful, or you can write it out, because sometimes that helps me remember what it is, just to help understand and remember the things. So it's so weird to say understand, but I love it. Yeah. So there's great ways to use AI without it being a doctor for you, because I don't think that that's a thing yet, nor do I totally trust it either. And I still think it's important in this tech and touch conversation that we don't take people out of the equation. I don't necessarily want AI to take over caregiving. I think it'll be a great assistant in what we do. I think it's going to help us burn out less and be able to enjoy our journey and enjoy our loved one. But at the end of our day, our tuition is elite. And so,
girl, okay.
So that's never going to not be a thing. And, however we show up in our roles for whoever we are for caring for. So.
Yeah. And, like we were mentioning, AI is here to stay. Tech is here to stay. That's like saying I'm never going to use a fridge, because a fridge is technology, but I'm against technology. Are you kidding me? They're going to advance. That's just the way of life and the way of tech. It's going to constantly advance. So it only behooves us to find a way to either incorporate it or not. I don't see how it can be avoided. Not really.
I think it, as caregivers, that we have an opportunity to show up and let AI know how we want it to show up.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I'm definitely going to have it make me show up in the way that I am the most replenished Nikki as I can possibly be. I love the prompt about use these things that I have in my house for self-care. I love that. I've used that many a times. Like even when you go to those big stores like the BJ's and the Costco's and you're buying certain things or you don't know what you're in need of, asking ChatGPT or whatever tech to find the best things that you need for your lifestyle and your loved one that will help you save money. Is it to get the bulk toilet paper or the bulk cereal, oatmeal, what nuts? Like what is it? And let it do the thinking for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
In that way. Only in that way. Right.
Yeah. I mean, and again, doing that and then talking to your nutritionist, talking to those specialists and saying, hey, this is what it came up with. Does this make sense? Does it work with my budget? Talk to your financial person. Yeah, all of those things are really important. Again, team is super important. And having AI or any technology is also a great addition to the care team. It shouldn't be not.
Yeah, exactly. And to your point about what you were saying earlier, you know, when you do have your data, they treat you a lot differently. You're being treated with respect. You're getting spoken to more seriously. Watch the body language. I bet you they're sitting up when they're talking to you. Okay.
100%. And they're excited. They're like, ooh, can I see the book? Because I would always print them out. But I know there's a lot of caregivers who like to use like Good Notes or other note apps. Again, another great one. Or for journaling, all of those things, like whether it's for your caregiver experience or for yourself, just like have a place to write down your things, write down your thoughts. Be creative with it too. It doesn't always have to be about caregiving stuff. Like just having like a place to be creative, super important as well.
You know, I love it. And I'm here for the creativity. I ask Chat for every time that we have to pivot through the different seasons, because I'm in New York. So we got the 4 seasons. I'll say, hey, can you create a new routine for me? Because this is what we did for winter. So what are we going to do for spring? And it will give me, so in winter, I was waking up a little bit later because the sun isn't setting as, isn't dawning as early, right? So for spring, it started me out at like 5 in the morning as opposed to 6 or 7 in wintertime. And I had to get a period of adjustment, and Chad knew that. So Chad even included that, like, hey, for this week, we're going to start waking up at 6:30. Next week, we're going to wake up at 6, and the following week, 5:30, until we get to the ultimate goal, which is 5 a.m. And I love that because now it understands me. It knows that my body can't just get up just at that same time because I am not AI. Okay. I'm human. All right. But I love that it reflected that in the care for my routine. So I didn't feel like this is an unachievable goal. Now it feels more realistic and more sustainable for my specific lifestyle.
No big leaps. We do enough of that in our caregiver journey when there's an emergency or something big that happens. So if we can do it nice and soft and something that works for us that we're going to be more successful at, then yeah, that absolutely makes sense. And the word I was thinking was analysis paralysis. That is something that we have to deal with a lot because we're always trying to figure out. So to have AI help you with that, don't feel guilty about that. Because I know I felt that way too. Allow it to help and see what happens. You obviously don't have to do it, but just to ask it questions and see what it says. And if it resonates with you, go for it. Because you can, again, take that energy and lower your cortisol and do all of those things. Like you should take that opportunity to do so.
Girl. Exactly. I got like a true story. So I was having a lot of high cortisol moments. I was feeling very anxious, and I ended up like I had this situation where I used to pull my hair out, and trichomania is what the actual situation is called. So I put it into Chat, and I was just like, I'm trying to create a more healthier relationship with my hair because I have been pulling it out. So can you suggest some soft ways I can introduce self-care into my hair routine? Girl, it gave me all I also said I was African-American, okay? It gave me all kinds.
Yes.
It needs that information, right?
Yeah, it does. 100% needs that information.
You better believe it, because it said, well, because you're an African-American, fabulous millennial woman, because it knows me. Anyway, but your hair will tend to dry out and really needs more moisture. And I was seeing like almost like a form of psoriasis on my scalp. So it started to suggest different oils that I could use, like jojoba oil, almond oil, and then using like an apple cider vinegar mix, which is natural. And I'm very big on the holistic care and how often I can use it. And then it gave me a prompt, and it said, would you like me to turn this into a checklist that you can do twice a week or once a month. Oh my God. I love it. Now I don't have that analysis paralysis. I don't have to think about like, so how often do I have to do that? How many times do I need to buy that? Because it broke it down for me.
It's literally caregiving the caregiver. And I love that. Like,
yeah. And it's great. And now those dry scalps that I was having and me pulling out, now I'm not doing it as much. Now I feel like I'm safe for my hair. I'm not pulling it out. Now I have a better understanding about my hair texture and what it needs. I didn't know that those things that I was seeing was my hair communicating with me. Right? And who has the time to think about that? Like, what's your hair saying? Do you need to drink more water? What's going on?
That requires not so much the reflection because you were already doing that. You were already seeing certain things. AI just helped validate and give you more knowledge on what was going on, right? So I love that it was able to basically took your intuition and then with the tech allowed you to validated what you were going through and then also help give solutions that you could then use your intuition to see if that really resonates with you or doesn't. So it goes back to I love that
me too. And it calmed me down because I felt like I was failing. I threw air quotes on that, but I felt like I was failing with taking care of myself because if I can't take care of something as simple as my hair, what am I doing? But you're right also, about using the word
simple. I'm sorry, our hair is not simple. Like, you know, like
it's not. It was meant for the gods because my hair is like always in gravity. It's always constantly rising. It's fluffy. It's full. It's big. Like, my God. Yeah. But when you don't understand it, when there's a lack of knowledge, then you don't understand what your options are. Your resources are out there, but how would you know what's for you if you don't even understand what situation you're dealing with?
It's too easy to internalize it. It's air within yourself. It's not.
Yeah, and it's not.
Air. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not out there. It's, you know, it's a computer error some way, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's just.
That's why I like that you use the word. It's tech was validating what you were seeing, your symptoms. Tech validated that. Well, the reason why you're seeing the dryness is due to the type of hair you have, and this product that you're using isn't serving for your type of hair. You just need to change the product. Oh my God.
Right.
I had no idea. I had no idea. I feel so much better. So I really hope anybody listening to that, if you are going through similar situations and you feel like you're failing in something, you know, maybe take the time to write down those things that you're seeing and try exploring it.
Yeah. Reach out to other caregivers, see what kind of tech they're using, whether that be actually something that you would use on your phone, like an app, or like, oh, here's one. This massager for your head, a little head massager. Those are super cool.
Ooh, those head massagers are live. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Ooh, those are really good.
So much fun.
Yeah, and you know, moisturizing is great, but when you're using a massager, it's stimulating your scalp. I didn't even know that either.
Yeah, I love it.
I have one of those rubber ones. They're kind of small, and they have points
in the shower. Yeah. To use the scalp. Yeah, that feels great too.
What I've been using, but the one that you just shared, that one looks really good.
That one's just more of like a not in the shower, just like take a break. Great, like 5 minute. That would be when you put in the prompt. I want to use this. I want to use a grabber. I want to use a lotion. You know, you're telling.
And when I tell you I'm specific, you got to be specific.
100%. Yes. I want this. Don't say that. Give it to me in a list form, like however you like it. Basically, it'll give it to you.
And not to be too TMI, but like, so I'm on a GLP-1, right? And one of the side effects is nausea and sometimes sulfur burps. So I put that into ChatGPT, and I know we were talking about like, do you lean in on the doctor? Or do you lean on AI? I lean on both. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I like to take what information I got from AI and present it to the doctor. Like, I'll have the conversation with the doctor, like, oh, okay, so listen, these are the symptoms I'm having. And then I'll let the doctor shoot their shot, like, oh, okay, well, maybe it's because of this. And then I'll push back on with what tech told me. And I'll say, okay, well, this is what I have learned. Okay. And there's the conversation. But anyway, so chat was like, oh, okay, so you're having all these symptoms. We'll check it. Maybe what you could do for your meals is have more hot lemon water in the mornings, because that helps with digestion. And also, if you don't have lemon, maybe you can get some peppermint tea, because I know your sister just got you a whole set, right? Yeah. Okay. Or maybe
call-outs are always surprising to me. They're like, oh, hey, remember when you said that? And they bring it back. Ugh.
I'll be like, okay, stop clocking me. I'm not off. Okay, relax. Relájate. Okay. But anyway, yeah, using tech for that, I again felt more and validated about what I was, because I thought that maybe this is an individualistic thing, but no, this is actually a common symptom that you may get when you are on a GLP-1. So knowing that I have all these ways of controlling that symptom made me feel so much better about what my journey was going to look like, or what's it going to continue to look like on this.
Yes, I agree. And want to make sure that, again, we are not doctors. Please don't use AI as a doctor necessarily. Don't ask for it to do medical diagnoses. Do not, start tip-tapping in an emergency situation. Like, do the regular things. Call the 911. Please don't, do those types of things, because that's not what it's supposed to be here for.
It's absolutely not. It is a tool.
Yes.
It is not the doctor. It is just a tool.
Yes.
And if you're not using it for any type of medical questions, then please know it's your assistant. You can use it for those decisions, the everyday decisions that you might not know that you need, like that prompt that you gave earlier, T, about how many things you might have to do on your to-do list, and this is the amount of time I have. Please use this time in the most way that I am optimizing both my energy and the time allotted for these specific tasks. Yeah. Right? You can be specific in those areas and have it help you with that. And I would prefer for anyone listening to really lean in on it for those usages, for your everyday practical lifestyle routines, and how you can make it just a little bit more effective, so that you walk away feeling the validation, like, okay, we are really doing a good job, because look at how many things we got done this week or today.
Yes. Praise is always important in all the things that we do, because we're already doing so much. So allowing yourself to use data to give you space to then fill it with the things that give you joy is, to me, the ultimate in this tech world that we're living in this AI world. If we can get that back, that would be great.